Although the featured weapons are not all the same level, you can still get a good feel for the general performance of each. Starting with Disc Launcher 8. This is obviously something that I expect people to use if they have it because, ooh, it's fancy. But I have learned a lot from using Disc Launcher 12s, and these 8 energy versions are actually a lot better than I initially thought they were. As you can see, the main downside of Disc Launcher is a relatively low damage output. However, Shadow's general mid-range superiority makes this a great weapon. Absolutely fantastic, actually. Much better than I was expecting it to be when I first tried it out. But it does require small amounts of playstyle adjustments in comparison to assault weapons. Very good if used with an assassination playstyle, in which you would take out single opponents one at a time, allowing for less forced usage of the ability as well. And of course, due to the nature of Disc Launcher weapons, enemy Shadow mechs are rarely a problem. The mag size and firing speed of Disc Launcher is also very good in combination with Shadow's stealth ability, allowing for a full clip to be unloaded and still have a few extra seconds to GTFO if needed. As you can tell from this clip, Disc Launcher 8s have a lot of problems taking out multiple opponents at the same time. That's usually where you're going to die. Although the stealth ability does allow for some survivability, it's not at all recommended that you try to take out multiple enemies at once. I'm not gonna lie, Disc Launchers are kind of my new favorite weapon ever since they came out. Because, I don't know, it's possibly just because it's still kind of new, but I really love the mechanics to it. It's a unique mechanic, and I love the way that they have so much potential to be used in such a skilled manner, whereas people who don't know what they're doing can still really suck with it. And I think that's great. I think it's great to have forms of skill implemented into the game in any way, shape, or form. Because some things don't require a lot of skill. Some things are just kind of generally better than other things, and that's fine. I understand that, and that's something you gotta have come to terms with too. It's like pay to win. You know, if you don't want to spend money, don't spend money. You're just gonna have to come to terms with the fact that companies are going to try to make people spend money because they want to make money. But yeah, when I first tried Disc Launchers, I figured, okay, well, it's just like a weird homing thing, but it's explosive. Actually, one of the main attributes of this weapon I would consider to be the explosive capacity, I suppose you could say. It's like RPGs, missile racks, they have AoE, and that's something to keep in mind as well. Final analysis of Disc Launcher Shadow. Solid build. Shadow is already an incredible mid-range mech, evading fire while staying out of ability range. The main downside to this is the lower capture point capacity, as the slow firepower will often result in destruction up close. Next up is Carbines, or Carbines, or however you pronounce it. However the cool kids say it. I don't know. I don't care. But these are weapons that I've never been terribly fond of. Mostly because I see everyone using it and I'm like, oh, meta item, no likey. but for real, these are pretty good weapons. even though the clip that I'm showing you right now is of a absolute bogus game that I played. Like, that cheetah just, I can't target him, for goodness. Yeah, this isn't a great game, but I can't base my opinion off of a single game. These weapons are mid-range-ish, and Shadow always benefits from that type of thing because it keeps you out of range of enemy mech abilities. All mechs benefit from that, realistically. Any weapon that requires you to get 30 meters, like shotguns, arc torrents, they're not that great. I love arc torrents on my Shadow. It has such great capacity for greatness, you could say. But it's terrible. It's terrible. You constantly getting frozen by Zephyrs, and if it weren't for your stealth, you'd be screwed every single time. That said, these weapons are not very good up close, and I feel like they're very difficult to aim. At least in my opinion. They feel like beam weapons, like Stasis Beam, Thermal Lance. They feel like that sort of thing, where like if you're up close to someone, it's really difficult to like actually get a hit on them. They don't offer any aiming correction, and I think that's because of the precision perk or whatever that's on there. Highly accurate weapons on for carefully timed shots, I believe is the way that they say it. Anyway, final analysis of Carbine Shadow. This build requires a bit of distance and is relatively difficult to use on faster mech. That said, it is significantly better at destroying multiple opponents than Disc Launcher due to a higher sustained damage output. Missile Rack 8. The games that I played with this weapon had very similar results, and I just picked this one, to be honest. I got kind of owned by this guy right up, and that took a lot of my health away. But it goes to show like how stupid Killshot is, mostly, but also it goes to show that these weapons are very capable of doing lots of damage in a short period of time, and that will quite often keep you from dying. Realistically, if you can stay back and reload and then only go into fight when you have a full mag or when you have it reloaded, like you're set. You're gonna do some good damage. Get in, do some assassination like that. Works very well. The main downside, obviously, is the reload time after you fire. You are now reloading, and if you didn't kill him, then good luck to you. Another good part about this weapon is that sort of thing right there. So long as you fire before you get frozen, you're going to keep firing. You're going to unload all of it. As opposed to when you die, because if you die, you'll actually stop firing. You might fire one or two. You might fire one or two bullets like while you're dying, but you won't unload the entire mag necessarily. AoE also really helps with up close battles like this. Very good. It doesn't require quite as much precision aiming. Final analysis of Missile Rack Shadow. High burst firepower is the main reason anyone would use missile racks, in my opinion. Very good burst DPS. However, the main downside is the forced reload at the end, and that can be both a blessing and a curse. Next up is Pulse Cannon. We all know it, we all love it. Possibly. Depends on your play style, to be completely honest. I have always found Pulse Cannons to be not quite my thing. I think it takes just a little bit too long to destroy enemies. They're very good weapons, and I've upgraded these quite a bit, actually. Decent range, up to like 50 meters, getting maximum damage output. I know this because of the Pulse Cannon accuracy chart video I did a little bit ago. By a little bit ago, I mean like at least a month ago. This video is so late, and I'm sorry, but you know what, you're just gonna have to deal with it. I don't know, I would say another thing that kind of, it might be all of the Zephyrs. Like, Zephyrs will freeze you, they'll keep you from doing literally anything. And I feel like that very much contributes to disliking Pulse Cannons, because if you can't do a lot of damage in a short amount of time, you will get wrecked. This guy with the Javrax, he jumped with a Lancer, which is a dead giveaway that he is a real player and not a bot. So I just kind of focused him down for a second. Does that make me a bad person? Maybe. But realistically, the biggest opposition that I have in a game is any real players that might be there. Bots are not that smart, especially my own teammate ones. Yeah, and there's a Panther Shield, another dead giveaway. But, you know, I try not to be a jerk about it, but realistically, you just kind of have to take out the competition. Anyway, Pulse Cannons do well. Good sustained firepower. While you're in stealth, you can be firing basically the entire time, so. Final analysis of Pulse Cannon Shadow. Probably the highest sustained firepower a weapon can offer. This is the main reason anyone would use Pulse Cannons, in my opinion. The only downside is that they do not have a lot of DPS compared to other 8 energy weapons. Rocket mortars. I kind of hate myself for even thinking about using these. I feel stupider now. Now that I have attempted this. Not a great idea. Also, these are you might have noticed, these are the first weapons in this video that are not rank 5. I think, yeah, all of them have been rank 5 up until this point. These are rank 3, level 2, so that's really bad. Just for some context, most weapons that I use in general, like in my videos in general, are 6-star weapons. However, most of the weapons that my opponents use, the bots, are rank 5. Most of them are rank 5. And yeah, that's rank 3 weapons do not do a lot of damage. That said, rocket mortars in general do not do a lot of damage. And rocket mortar 8s especially do not deal a lot of damage. It takes so long for them to reload. You get one shot. Afterwards, you're just kind of hoping that you don't die. Shadow's ability keeps you alive for longer, but honestly, I don't even want that by the end of it. Like, I'm doing nothing in terms of damage with these. I'm doing basically nothing. And I did my best to get as much damage as possible, just so that I can say that I did, but realistically, by the end of the game, I was so happy to be done with these. I was so happy to be dead because I did nothing. I did not contribute at all. I don't even remember if I ended up winning this game. Probably not. But, yeah, there's really no reason to use rocket mortars on a shadow. You could use it on like a lancer or something. You could jump around, do some fancy stuff, but shadow, no. It's really no good reason to do that. Official final analysis. Easily the worst idea a person could have. In my personal opinion, Rocket Mortar 12 is the only one even worth buying. That said, the low firepower is partially due to the lower level. However, the weapons are still not at all optimal paired with this mech's ability. Last but not least, Long Arm 8. These are also very low level compared to the other weapons that I was using. Rank 3, level 7. I never really upgraded them because, you know, I was always more interested in using the long arm 10s, obviously. Didn't want to waste my resources on something I wasn't going to use long term, but using these on Shadow, I was actually very surprised with how well they worked. Obviously, it's not that much damage per shot, partially because of the levels so low. But, it's not bad. It really isn't. The high mobility of Shadow allows for you to get basically anywhere you need to get in order to snipe someone. The stealth will keep people from sniping you for the most part while you're trying to snipe someone. It's very effective. A lot more effective than I thought it would be. Anyway, I have not played enough games quite yet to get like an exact opinion, I guess, as to whether or not these are like particularly effective. But I would say that they work rather well. In this game alone, I think I got like 6 kills or something like that, which is not bad. I mean, obviously it's not the best. It's not like a crazy amount, but 6 kills with sniper weapons that are very low level on a traditionally non-sniper mech, I would say that it definitely has potential. Whether or not you would want to use this or not is debatable. You do miss a lot of your shots trying to run place to place, and then just the fact that Shadow is so quick, it's kind of hard to aim and walk at the same time. And you don't often, especially when you're a sniper, you do not want to stand still while you're sniping because enemy snipers will hit you and you will be dead and it won't be fun. But, yeah. Final analysis of Long Arm Shadow. The stealth ability can give you a major edge in sniper v sniper shootouts and can help protect you against brawlers who get too close. The main downside is the lower damage output, which is going to result in less kills and a less supportive playstyle.